And we're back for some Combat Corner. Um, I have no idea what this dude's hair looked like. That is the only highlight that I caught. It looked like a bop it. But you gave a great preview going into the weekend, and I guess you're going to talk about this main event now. What a finish! And yeah, I'll throw it over to you, Max. Break us through UFC on the weekend.
What a finish, what a fight. Slight confession, I caught the fight about half an hour ago, but I did catch the finish last night. I passed out watching the fights last night after the first round of the Kutaleba fight, and like came to saw Yuri on top of Reyes on the ground and thought that's weird. I didn't think of this guy as a grappler. Watched him just really awkwardly scramble on top of Reyes. Like it wasn't really technique, it wasn't elegant, it wasn't slick. It was just determined and kind of all over the place, but he managed to get to like side control, said like fuck position, fuck control time. I'm just going to posture up and throw. And he did that. And the downside of doing that is it gives the space and room for the guy to get up. The upside is you have the leverage to land heavy. Both things kind of happened at once with Reyes scrambling up as Yuri landed a couple shots like in the transition. The man has fantastic accuracy and shot selection. I'll get to that later. But then he just stayed on him, kept hitting him. Reyes was hurt, staggers to the fence, and what fantastic shot selection from the bop it. I mean, like uppercut it, fake it, do a little dance it, spinning elbow it. And man, so that I saw that and was just like, wow, they're going to talk about that a lot for a while, I think, and promptly went to sleep. I woke up and went to work. I did catch the rest of the fight before hopping on this podcast. And the whole fight, it looked to me like Prochazka was in control and dominating. The man, the pressure he puts forth with his hands basically at his waist is so entertaining to watch. Just such high like fight value. Can't miss television because that at any given time you feel like he's either going to land or get landed on, but somehow he's almost never getting landed on because like his timing is so great. The options having his hands having his hands solo give him are just fantastic. I mean, he threw these crazy uppercuts several times that like started from so far down, and like the entry point I think was just so much lower and more straight than people are used to defending that it caught Reyes awkwardly. But just like you could see him picking the path at times when Reyes was shelling to avoid hooks. It also lets him fake so cool because his hands are so low. All he has to do is like flick them up as if he's going to do one of those uppercuts or loopy shots, and then he'll throw a kick or something. And the defense is there. Like the only times he really got tagged was when he was throwing, and he almost always landed first or landed harder, which meant the shots that hit him, I think, just aren't. You can't throw that hard when you're getting punched in the face most of the time. So I was surprised at how close the stats were in the first round. I mean, I think every strike gets counted as a significant strike, but that first round is like not just the finish, but that first round was domination as well. He hurt Reyes several times. I think the reason Reyes went out so cold and so flat was just because of how hurt he already was, not just from the ground and pound, but acclimation over that. And he didn't even look tired. Like, I don't know if he can do that for 5 rounds, but going in between the first and second, he looked so zen, so calm. Just what an awesome addition to the UFC this guy is. He's so unorthodox, so kooky, has such an entertaining but dangerous fight style that works against high level guys. Like you'd think if you keep your hands that low and walk forward nonstop, between Volkan Oezdemir and Dominic Reyes, someone is going to land a pretty good hard shot. Maybe Oezdemir like wobbled him for a second. But I remember one shot from Reyes catching my attention that fight. And so, but to walk forward against a guy like that, just wow, what an awesome fight. I was saying to O before we started recording, I'm definitely putting that knockout down in our highlights of the year. So I'm sure it's not the last time I talk about it this 2021. I am really curious what the trajectory of Dominic Reyes's fight are going to look like from now on. Because as I said, I wasn't super high on the guy going into the John Jones fight. I thought Jones was going to tool him. And then Reyes took 3 rounds off Jones, in my opinion. And then now he's looked like absolutely nothing special whatsoever against Jan Blachowicz and Yuri Prochazka. So maybe he just, that Eastern European style too much for him. That's a bit tongue in cheek, but maybe just those are 2 of the best light heavyweights in the world that there's absolutely no shame in losing to. I am really interested to see where he goes from here. For Yuri, I've said before this that I feel like the 3 hottest prospects in light heavyweight are Yuri, Alexander Rakic, and Magomed Ankalaev. I still feel like that's true, but I feel like this win for sure puts Yuri ahead of those other 2. So I would love to see Yuri fight one of the 2 of them for the next title shot after Glover gets his shot at Jan. I think that's the way to go. I before this, I could have said like whichever 2 of the 3 of them fight, like give the next title shot to. With Yuri having just fought, obviously he needs a bit of time to rest up. And I don't think Jan and Glover fight until September. So probably the next light heavyweight title defense after that might be like February. So as long as they can get 1 or 2 matchups between those 3 in by, I guess, October latest, maybe November latest, I think that's good. But right now, the light heavyweight division is roaring with the 2 old men going at it for the title this September and some fantastic prospects rearing for their chance next, with Yuri Prochazka leading the way after that fantastic performance and phenomenal finish. That'll wrap up this combat corner. We'll be right back after a short break.